My editors have a long list.
Coming very soon to McLean. Are you a Liberal voter? A Tory supporter? Are you a fan of the Prime Minister? Or do you loathe him? If you answered yes to any of these, I would like to thank you. You are responsible for the utter mess Canada has made of the Liberal leaders is squabbling here. You probably won't read past the sentence. They know for an actual fact the Prime Minister has done a very good job on procuring vaccines, and the third wave is entirely the fault of incompetent premiers like Doug Ford. Similarly, Conservative readers know that Liberals are partisan fools if they believe this utter nonsense. It's obvious to everyone that they're willfully blind that Ford has been fighting the pandemic with one hand tied behind his back because Ottawa won't seal the borders or give them enough vaccine. This polarized certainty has given our political leaders at all levels the confidence to conclude they're doing a good job. It's the other guy that's screwing things up. Those are the words of Scott Gilmore, who's on with us right now. Scott, what was the tripwire in your brain that made you write this column? And I think it was one of the fastest columns you've ever written because you were so ripping angry.
Yeah, well, Charles, like perhaps you and I'm sure a lot of your listeners, I've been having to worry about my mental health throughout all this and have been every once in a while pulling back and checking out and just not reading the news, not reading the headlines. But then I dipped my toe, which I did this morning, and got on Twitter and saw the polarization that is happening amongst partisan Canadians, where they've created what I've described in that column as a partisan perpetual motion machine, where they've provided cover to their leaders. If they're Conservatives, they're providing cover to Kenny and Ford by pointing at Trudeau and all of his missteps and saying, anytime you criticize what happened at the provincial level, they'll say, well, yes, of course, because look what the feds are doing. That's I think we have a problem. And then vice versa, the Liberals are doing the exact same thing. You point out that Canada's procurement has been slow out of the gates. We've been well behind other countries that have far fewer resources and capability than we have. We've left our borders open that has allowed these variants to come rushing in. I mean, these are objective facts. And as a Liberal, particularly a partisan Liberal, is going to immediately say, yeah, but it's Ford and his chaotic implementation of restrictions which has caused the problem. And they're all right to a certain extent, which allows Premier Ford to shrug and point at Ottawa and say, well, I'm doing the best I can. I can't do Trudeau's job. It's his fault. We'll just keep doing what we're doing. And it allows Trudeau to do exactly the same thing, to point at Doug Ford and shrug and say, well, I can't do his job. I can only do what I'm doing, so I'm just going to keep on going. So as a result, both sides of the equation keep marching down the wrong road, and nothing is going to improve. Nothing's going to get better. And so not only does this literally mean more dead Canadians, because for every day that the pandemic is lengthened, there's a body count of that. So not only are there more dead Canadians, but when the dust is settled, when the bodies are all buried, when this is finally over, we're not going to have learned anything. So when the next pandemic comes, or the next national crisis comes, everyone's going to run to their corners again. And like I said, a partisan perpetual motion machine is what's going to create here, and it's only hurting Canadians.
My number is 1-877-399-9898. Is political partisanship killing people? I hate to ask it in such a tabloid way, but that's my takeaway from what Scott Gilmore is saying. That fighting the pandemic is taking longer, and fighting the pandemic is less effective because of political partisanship, whether you're left or right. The issue is politicians are paying more attention to the politics than they are to the actual pandemic. That's Scott Gilmore's perspective. What's yours? 1-877-399-9898. If you're texting, please leave us your first name and location. Either way, call or text 1-877-399-9898. You're listening to a whole bunch of Canadian Common Sense on Charles Answer tonight.
Hi, this is Vince Uluzzi bringing you exciting news from WeFindYourCar.ca. We are continually growing and need your vehicle. Yes, you heard it here first. We will pay top dollar and give you cash for your car on the spot, even if you don't buy a vehicle from us. Why would we do that, you ask? Because at WeFindYourCar.ca, we are constantly filling car orders for our customers. How do you sell or buy a car from us? Listen to me live this Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. here on Experts Hour and learn how to get into your dream car today. WeFindYourCar.ca.
Stephen, I'm thinking of adding physical gold to my portfolio.
Well, I wouldn't do it.
You don't even know who Stephen is.
It doesn't pay a dividend.
Really? Because I researched gold, and it actually has averaged over 8% a year since 2002. That's a lot more than I'm getting with you.
But you're going to have to pay it. How are you going to sell it?
Actually, it's easy to store. And it costs less than your yearly management fee. And I found out that through Guildhall, that buying and selling happens on a phone call.
Have you ever thought about owning physical gold or silver and been told it's a bad idea? Thank goodness for Guildhall. Guildhall Precious Metals will put you first. With Guildhall, you can discover how owning physical gold and silver could protect your financial future and cost your pocket less. Go to guildhallwealth.com, where it's all about you.
Sorry, Stephen. I want to do things my way. I'm heading to Guildhall.
Guildhall is gold.
Hi, Keith here from Speedy Glass to tell you that sometimes even the best drivers are no match for rough roads, and a crack in your windshield can happen fast. Luckily, a cracked windshield is no match for my team and I at Speedy Glass. We use cutting-edge tools to quickly replace fenders so it remains structurally sound. Our work comes with a lifetime warranty, so don't book your appointment today at speedyglass.ca. Details at speedyglass.ca.
Speedy Glass replace.
You can hear that, right?
Hey, Cuckoo. What do you tell a teenager about cannabis? I'm playing Haboot Canopy. Music.
Chomo's just going fucking ape shit. What are you mad about, Chomo?
Looking for tips on how to talk to teens about cannabis? Visit drugfreecanada.org for more tools to help start the conversation. Drug Free Kids Canada.
Cast Podcast Network. Like nothing much happens. Bedtime stories for grown-ups. Trouble sleeping? Then this is definitely the podcast for you. Just like the name. You hear a story, nothing much happens.
Well, Chomo just losing his fucking
It's already
mind,
for you
eh?
now, for free at curioucat.ca and wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for a pivotal role at her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, it's a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology identifies the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free.
Yes, Chomo, we see you. I said
Monica
3
did, and that's
fucking
how she
minutes
found
ago.
Lamar,
What the
her
fuck
new
is wrong
project
with you,
superintendent.
Chomo? Fuck
The job
off.
is so perfect for me. I had a career breakthrough. I would have never found this job if it wasn't.
We've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field science. We get hiring results.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada. That's ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada. ZipRecruiter.ca/Canada.
Welcome to Cooking Naked. I'm your host, Brenda Stewart, and completely new with Bacon Naked, but
You're pathetic, Chomo. You're pathetic, Chomo. You've been at this 4 of the last 9 minutes, dog. Like, I pointed out that you were doing this 4 minutes ago. That's how long it took you to fucking do what? What did you do? What did you accomplish? You advertise yourself again. The 9th floor Chomo of 1011. Everybody knows.
Colgate Optic White Overnight Whitening Pen. Removes 15 years of stains in just 1 week. Easy and effective whitening while you sleep. Wake up to a whiter, brighter smile. Use together for great whitening results. Every day. Your turn is coming soon. Visit ontario.ca/COVID.
It's been literally 6 minutes to the
999-6488 for assistance in 300 languages. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
It's time 10:51.
Time for traffic and weather. Together on the ones, here's Camille Wilson. This report is brought to you by medicalert.ca. So on the westbound 401 right now, we're still looking at that stalled transport truck at Port Union in the Express. 2 right lanes are blocked off, but not causing any delays as you get around there. Traffic's getting around pretty smoothly. And then the northbound Brimley ramp to the westbound 401 is closed off for maintenance. The ramp to Allen from the westbound 401 is also shut down. And from here, Ontario to approaching Mississauga Road, all express lanes are closed as well. The collectors are open. They're moving up to speed. And then once you get to the westbound 401 ramp to Highway 25, that is also closed off if you're heading that way. And then heading to the southbound 404, you have no access from Fidge. That ramp is closed, as well as the southbound 404 ramps to Shepherd. Those are also shut down for maintenance. On eastbound Finch, heading there, the ramp to northbound 427 is also closed off for some construction. And now on the Toronto-bound QW over the Burlington Skyway, we have 3 right lanes of construction. Give your loved ones a voice, even when you can't be there. Ensure their vital information is always ready and accessible with a Medic Alert bracelet. Sign up today at medicalert.ca. Your next report is at 11:01, and now with your forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Mild temperatures this evening, and we'll drop to lows near 8 degrees overnight. It's going to be a misty, drizzly Thursday to start with some fog through the morning. Steadier rain Thursday late day, 10 to 15 millimeters. For Friday, sun and cloud, chance of showers, highs near 9, lows near 3 degrees. And Saturday, May 1st, we will be cool, but we have sunshine, at least for part of the day. Highs near 13, showers move in for Saturday night. Your overnight low tonight, 8 degrees.
Downtown Toronto right now, overcast and 13 degrees, 10 and overcast at Pearson.
Coming up at the top of the hour, the latest on a shooting in Ajax that has sent 2 people to a trauma center. Our 680's Madison Fitzpatrick will have the latest details. 680 News Time, 10:53.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Dynamic Funds. Think that investment fees are all that matter? Sometimes the quest for wealth isn't so simple. Learn the true value of advice at dynamic.ca/advice.
Hi, it's Fido. When it comes to streaming your favorite music, don't let your data plan hold you back. Get a data boost from Fido with 5 hours of unlimited data at no extra cost. That's 5 extra hours of data every month when you need it. It's enough to stream your favorite playlist for 5 long walks outside, or maybe 1 really long one on all voice and data plans. Only with Fido. Visit a Fido store or fido.ca for details.
Know the moment it happens.
Subscribe to 680 News, breaking news alerts.
Powered by the Monitor and Center Home Security. Now partnered with Tag Dispatch.
Visit 680news.com.
And breaking news from your Toronto Maple Leafs, who are heading back to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Andy McNamara from Sportsnet 590 The Fan looks back on a big night for the Blue and White.
Ottawa defeated Vancouver earlier, win by the Maple Leafs over Montreal in regulation meant that Toronto would become the first team in the North Division since the playoffs. This saw a big start when William Nylander scored the first shot of the game and power play with 1:38 in. Austin Matthews later buried his 35th goal this season. Other counters to Jake Rosen and Adam Brooks. The Canadiens' lone goal from Nick Suzuki. Leafs go over 4-1 and punch their ticket to the postseason. No time to rest for Toronto, who host Vancouver on Thursday. You can watch that on Sportsnet. From Sportsnet 590 The Fan, I'm Andy McNamara.
This is 680 News, your business report with Richard Southern coming up next.
680 News, 10:55.
It was likely a mom who said life is not a dress rehearsal. And this Mother's Day, the one day dedicated to moms, is your chance to show her how grateful you are. Moms are the rock, the glue, the heart and soul of any family unit. Don't let Mother's Day go by without showing Mom how much she means with a pair of white gold Tears of Joy earrings from Spence for $199. As priceless as Mom is, she's more than worth it. Spence Diamonds. Find us in Vaughan, Scarborough, and Mississauga.
Get in on the McDonald's Daily Deal Drops. From April 19th to May 9th, we're dropping delicious deals, like a $3 Big Mac or 50% off a McFlurry, exclusively with the McDonald's app. App download, registration, and activation required, plus taxes. Only one daily offer per customer at participating restaurants.
680 News Time, 10:56.
That is 680 News Business Report. Here's Richard Southern.
Good evening. Apple's gone and done it again. Another blowout quarter, big earnings, big iPhone sales, and a big stock buyback as well. Apple said sales were up 54% year on year in the latest quarter to $89.6 billion. Profit coming in for 3 months at $23.6 billion. That was up 11.2% year on year. Brisk iPhone sales, the reason. iPhone sales up more than 65% year on year, but my goodness, Mac sales up 70%. So doing a good business in desktop computers, perhaps related to all the work at home. We're seeing cash on the books now about $204 billion for Apple, a $90 billion stock buyback, and the shares were higher by about 3% in the after-hours trade. Facebook impressing investors as well, delivering a revenue of $26.1 billion and daily active users of 1.88 billion. The stock hit a record in the extended trade. Beyond Meat is famous now for its plant-based burgers, its ground beef and all that, but it's reportedly set to shift into chicken. Bloomberg News reports that Beyond Meat is set to come out with a line of chicken alternatives this summer. Faux chicken, if you will. If true, it would be a significant shift because real chicken is the most popular meat sold in the grocery store. Beyond Meat not commenting on this, but it did say it's coming out with a new version of its Beyond Burger, one that's more nutritious and perhaps cheaper as well. Beyond Meat stock edged higher. The TSX at a record high today was up 181 points to 19,356. Shopify strong earnings. The stock was up more than 11.1%. On Wall Street, the Dow fell 164 points. The S&P was down 3, and the Nasdaq fell 39. Canadian dollars up to 81.23 cents US, and the top stories are next on 680 News.
I'm Mike from Mississauga. What did it feel like when I won over $2 million with OLG's online casino? Oh yeah, it felt kind of like that.
Winning with OLG brings out all the feels. Play today at olg.ca.
Wednesday, April 28th is International Guide Dog Day, and as the world celebrates, here in Canada, we are facing the most severe shortage of guide dogs in our country's history. Hi, I'm Ben Mulrooney, proud CNIB guide dog sponsor. CNIB has launched a nationwide campaign to urgently expand their guide dog program, and they need your help. In honor of International Guide Dog Day, please join me in becoming a CNIB guide dog sponsor at sponsorpuppies.ca. That's sponsorpuppies.ca.
It's not supposed to happen. This is good. Oh, for fuck's sake, you've got to be fucking kidding.
News when it happens.
680 News. In Aurora, there is overcast skies sitting at 11 degrees. In Hamilton, cloudy skies and 11 degrees. In Mississauga, cloud cover sitting at 11 degrees. And in Richmond Hill, you're seeing cloudy skies as well, and it's 11 degrees. In Vaughan, overcast and a little warmer, sitting at 12 degrees. In downtown Toronto, it's 9 degrees with cloudy skies. And Toronto Pearson, it is a little warmer, sitting at 10 degrees.
and cloudy skies. The News Watch never stops. 680 News is CFTR AM Toronto. At the Double Tones, it will be 11 o'clock.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
It's Wednesday, April 28th. Good evening. I'm Scott Burnett.
I'm Michelle Morton. Here's what's making news this hour. A shooting in Ajax has left 2 people in life-threatening condition. A large area still taped off by police, including a car left riddled with bullet holes.
The province introduces a program to provide workers with 3 paid sick days. This to help employees take time off to self-isolate and to address workplace outbreaks of COVID-19.
The province creates an emergency order which will allow patients who no longer need hospital care to be transferred to long-term care homes without their consent.
The Leafs punch their ticket to the playoffs while the Blue Jays get knocked out. Sports at 15.
So how do business owners feel about the 3 paid sick days? We're talking to the CFIB, who has some issues with it. No issues with Bay Street. The TSX closes at a record high. Business at 26.
680 News Time, 11:01.
Traffic and weather time. Here's Camille Wilson.
This report is brought to you by 407 ETR. On the westbound 401 right now at Port Union and the Express. We still have that stalled transport truck in the right lane. No delays around here. Probably might just be a visual distraction with the flashing lights. But again, everything is running up to speed through there. The northbound Brimley ramp to the westbound 41 is also closed off for construction, and the westbound 41 ramp to Allen as well. From here, Ontario to approaching Mississauga Road, all express lanes are closed off for some maintenance, and the westbound 41 ramp to Highway 25, that is also shut down. The Finch ramp to the southbound 404 is closed, as well as the southbound 404 ramps to Shepherd. Those are shut down as well for some maintenance. The eastbound Finch ramp to the northbound 427 is closed off as well, and the Toronto-bound QEW ramps to North Shore. Heading out to the southbound 427, you have no access from westbound Finch. 407 ETR donates to 19 GTA hospitals and rehab centers to support critical healthcare programs and services. 407 ETR for the things that matter most. Your next report is at 11:11, and now with your forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Well, mild temperatures this evening, an overnight low near 8 degrees. We still have the chance of showers, drizzly conditions, some mist and fog patches developing overnight. For tomorrow, it will be below seasonal and unsettled, especially for the second part of the day. We could see about 10 to 15 millimeters of rain. Highs tomorrow near 11 degrees. Your overnight low is 8.
In downtown Toronto, it's 9 degrees and cloudy. At Toronto Pearson, it's 10 degrees and cloudy skies. 680 News Time, 11:02.
2 people are now in hospital after a shooting between multiple vehicles in Ajax.
680's Madison Fitzpatrick has more.
Police say at least 40 shots were fired between 2 vehicles, with a third caught in the crossfire. One vehicle outside of Wild Wing just riddled with bullet holes. Police say a man and a woman were in that car and have since been rushed to hospital in life-threatening condition. Now, when this all took place, police say that employees in nearby businesses heard the gunfire and ran into store basements for protection. Members of the Forensic Investigative Services are on scene and will be there for several hours collecting evidence. All across the intersection, there are multiple orange cones, including Tim Hortons coffee cups, that are marking where the shell casings landed. Police are also asking the public who have any surveillance or dash cam footage to contact them. I'm Madison Fitzpatrick.
680 News Time, 11:03. It's an about-face for the Ford government. The province introducing a program to provide workers in Ontario with 3 paid sick days until September.
Just download our app from store. Do they have an app or not?
To boost the federal SICKLY program to $1,000 per week.
I'll get it on the other phone.
Monty McNaughton, the Minister of Labour, announced the province will introduce legislation that would require employers to provide employees with up to $200 of pay for up to 3 days if they're missing work because of COVID-19. He says they have stressed from the beginning that anyone who is sick should stay home from work.
But we know that for some people, it was hard to heed that advice because they couldn't afford to take time off work. This should never happen, and it ends now.
The province will reimburse the employers. Sam Conover, who owns Broad Lingerie in Toronto, says what she doesn't understand is why employers across the board
will be reimbursed.
Won't just be helping out small businesses with thin margins. It will also be going towards huge, super profitable companies. I'm a little bit concerned about that.
It's all too little, too late for opposition leader Andrea Horwath. She says 3 paid sick days are not enough, and she calls the announcement a huge disappointment. I'm Phil Martino.
A statement from the Office of Federal Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland says the government is pleased Ontario is ready to mandate paid sick leave. It states the feds will be there to help Ontario with this program and notes the Trudeau government mandated paid sick days for federally regulated workers back in 2019. The statement does not mention the recovery sickness benefit, which Ontario has demanded it be doubled to $1,000 a week. The Trudeau government has been cold to this idea, suggesting it's time for provinces to set up their own systems since it's their responsibility and the federal government doesn't have the power to demand employer paid sick days.
Strained hospitals will now be able to shuffle patients who could better be supported in long-term care
don't
or
you make the
retirement
employment
homes to
insurance
such a
thing out
facility
wait a
without
sec,
their consent. It's part of the province's latest temporary emergency order to help free up space for COVID-19 patients. Here's 680's Momin Qureshi.
This emergency power would allow hospitals to move patients who no longer require hospital care and are waiting for a spot to open up at a long-term care home.
This would be done in only the most urgent of situations, when a hospital is at risk of becoming overwhelmed.
Health Minister Christine Elliott says in some cases, it's possible the patient will be moved to a home that is not of their choosing and done without the patient's permission.
We would ask for their consent, but there may be circumstances under extreme overcrowding in our hospitals where it might be necessary to transfer someone without.
NDP leader Andrea Horwath says this type of move is troubling.
I think that we will hear some pretty horrifying stories once the government puts this policy into place.
The health minister says patients can still be moved to a facility of their choice down the road when a space opens up. I'm Momin Qureshi.
Down the road.
680 News Time, 11:07. The breaking news, the Toronto Maple Leafs are heading back to the Stanley Cup playoffs.
The Toronto Maple Leafs will clinch a playoff spot with their victory tonight, coupled with the Vancouver Canucks loss in Ottawa earlier in the evening.
The Blue and White knocked off the Montreal Canadiens 4-1 this evening at the Bell Centre in Montreal. The win for the North Division leaders, coupled with Vancouver's 6-3 loss in the nation's capital, getting the job done for the Leafs. The Buds wrapped the regular season up on May 14th in Winnipeg before hopefully making a run to the Stanley Cup.
Overcrowding, poor ministry oversight, and a severe staffing shortage at long-term care homes existed even before the pandemic hit. That from Ontario's Auditor General, who has released a special report today. 680's Richard Southern details the report.
The Auditor General, Bonnie Lessick, says in this report that Ontario's long-term care sector was not positioned or prepared to respond to the COVID-19 outbreak. She points out a total lack of oversight for the sector. Another big problem she points out is overcrowding. At least 30% of residents were infected at the same time, and 2/3 of rooms had 3 or 4 residents inside at the same time. And it was quite the response from the Minister of Long-Term Care, Marilee Fullerton.
Do I accept responsibility for all of that? I'm not a public health expert, but if the building's on fire and you're running into it to try and save people, I think that's pretty much what we tried to do.
NDP leader Andrea Horwath.
You can't fix something if you don't admit that you have a problem. I mean, it's just frightening what's happening here.
I'm Richard Southern.
Mayor John Tory says he's not embarrassed to be teaming up with unpaid volunteers to help spread the word of vaccine availability.
Mayor John Tory cannot say enough nice things about social media superheroes, Vaccine Hunters Canada.
It's all hands on deck here. This is a team effort, and if we work together with people like Vaccine Hunters and many, many others, we'll get more done, get more people vaccinated, and get this nightmare over with.
The city has entered into a new partnership with them to send over information at the end of each day on the following day's city vaccination clinics. And the mayor rejects the idea that Vaccine Hunters is actually succeeding where the government vaccine booking system and information sharing systems are failing.
And so if some enterprising people, volunteers, God bless them, put together an app like this that people started to use and providing information about how you can get vaccinated and we can help them a little bit, let's look at it that way. That's exactly what we should be doing.
I'm Mark Douglas.
Coming up in just 30 seconds, we'll check on the price of the pumps.
680 News Time, 11:09.
Coronavirus updates and breaking news.
All on the Be the First to Know newsletter.
Sign up now at 680news.com/newsletters.
I just want to be independent. I spent my whole life moving. I'm not stopping now. It would be so nice to get out again. I definitely want to continue doing things for myself.
This Mother's Day, show Mom you're listening. At Evolution Walkers, we offer the safest, most versatile walkers on the market. Foldable, lightweight, and customized to suit Mom's lifestyle and needs. Visit evolution.ca. Evolution Walkers, with you every step of the way.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro says price of gas will rise 3 cents at midnight to $1.29.9 a liter.
680 News Time, 11:10.
Mazda wants you to discover the drive. Discover why Mazda 3 is the Automobile Journalists Association of Canada's 2021 Canadian Car of the Year. Discover performance with an available turbocharged engine in the CX-5 or CX-30. And discover luxury with CX-9 sophisticated 7-passenger seating. Right now, receive 0.5% purchase financing on select models and up to a $1,000 Mazda bonus on select new Mazdas. Contact your local Mazda dealer or visit Mazda.ca for details.
I'm here with Bill Coy at Coy Brothers, and we're talking about being, it's the opposite of dumb.
Is it smart, Einstein?
Not smart Einstein, just smart.
Oh boy. Well, if you want smart, then the Toro 20339 recycler mower with the Smart Stow is the one. This Smart Stow feature allows the mower to be stored vertically, making storage in small spaces a breeze.
For just $469, the Toro 20339 mower is genius. Toro at Coy Brothers.
KOOYBROS.com.
680 News Time, 11:11.
Traffic and weather together on the ones checking your drive this evening. Camille Wilson.
This report is brought to you by AGM Renovations. So on the westbound 401 right now, we still have that stalled transport truck at Port Union in the Express. It's blocking the right lane, but not causing you any delays as you get around. The northbound Brimley ramp to the westbound 401 is also closed off for construction. The westbound 401 ramp to Allen is shut down. And from here, Ontario to approaching Mississauga Road, all express lanes are closed off as well. The northbound Mississauga Road ramp to the westbound 401 is closed, and the westbound 401 ramps to Winston Churchill and to Highway 25. Those are also closed for some maintenance. The Finch ramp to the southbound 404 is closed, as well as the southbound 404 ramps to Shepherd. Those are shut down. And here we've got a closure on the westbound QEW from Fairview to the Burlington Skyway. All lanes there are closed off, and that is for construction. So heads up, drivers, as you head around that way. The eastbound Finch ramp to the northbound 427 is also shut down, and the Toronto-bound QEW ramps to North Shore. How about the money you save staying at home you spend on your home? Increase your living space. Finish your basement. Call AGM now and get $5,000 off your new basement. Visit AGMRenovations.com. Your next report is at 11:21, and now with your forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
We still have a chance of showers tonight, and we'll have some fog patches develop overnight. So if you're a morning commuter, early morning especially, just be mindful that you may encounter some patchy fog and some misty, drizzly conditions. Temperatures tomorrow near 11 degrees. We have some steadier rain expected for the second part of the day, about 10 to 15 millimeters. Friday, sun and cloud.